What do you do when trust is broken? Whether it's in the workplace, with a friendship, with your family, when trust gets broken, it feels like it can be impossible to overcome. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to end at broken trust. Today, I'm gonna show you exactly what to do when trust is broken and how to rebuild it to come back even stronger. Because let's face it, we've all been there, and trust is everything. Trust is the foundation of every relationship, whether personal or professional. It's what allows people to collaborate, communicate openly, and feel secure in their connections. But when trust is broken, everything falls apart. Trust is fragile. It can take years to build, but only moments to shatter. And when it's gone, the effects can ripple through every part of your life or organization. Think about the last time you broke somebody's trust. How did it make you feel? Did it change the way you interacted with them? Broken trust leads to doubt, insecurities, and disengagement. And when this happens in a team or a workplace, it's even more destructive. Whether it's a mistake, a betrayal, or simply a misunderstanding, the effects are the same. Without trust, progress grinds to a halt. So why does trust get broken in the first place? There are 3 common reasons trust gets broken, and if you can identify them, you're already one step closer to rebuilding trust. Reason number 1, miscommunication. This is one of the biggest reasons trust gets broken, is people tend to miscommunicate. When things aren't clear, assumptions are made, and those assumptions can lead to misunderstandings or disappointment. I've seen this happen many times. A simple miscommunication leads to catastrophic events where trust is broken, and all of a sudden, teams don't want to work with each other and they become destructive. These teams feel like they're being misled, and it creates tension that can carry out for weeks, months, years. Clear, consistent communication is the key to building trust. Reason number 2 is unmet expectations. Usually, trust can be broken really quickly when promises aren't kept. Whether intentional or not, if you set an expectation and you fail to meet it, trust is going to erode. And it's not always the big promises that matter. Small commitments can add up over time. If people feel like they can't rely on you, they're going to start questioning everything else. And reason number 3 is broken boundaries. Trust is often broken when professional or personal boundaries are crossed. It's as simple as overstepping someone's ability to make a decision, or disrespecting someone's personal space or time. Boundaries exist for a reason. And when they're violated, it creates discomfort and breaks the foundation on which that trust was built upon. When trust is broken, consequences are much bigger than you think. It doesn't affect just the 2 people that the trust was broken between, it can affect the entire organization. People stop communicating, collaboration disappears, next thing you know, performance plummets. It's the same in personal relationships. Without trust, resentment builds and communication breaks down. If you've ever felt like you couldn't rely on someone anymore, you know how hard it is to move forward. But as I said earlier, trust being broken doesn't have to be the end of everything. It's hard, yes, but it can be rebuilt. So I'm going to give you some critical steps to start the trust rebuilding process. The first thing that needs to happen is that break of trust needs to be acknowledged. Too often, people try to ignore the issue and hope that it just blows over, and that's never going to work, especially in an organization. Whether it was your fault, somebody else's, it's really important to bring that break to the attention of the group and the team. Acknowledge the pain and the disappointment that it might have caused. This shows that you're serious about repairing the damage of broken trust. The next thing is taking responsibility and apologizing. Apologies might seem small, but they're incredibly impactful. Even if breaking trust wasn't your fault, the apology can show maturity, growth, and great leadership. It's a commitment to fixing the relationship. Now, you do have to make sure the apology is genuine, because people can tell when you're not sincere. Own the mistake, highlight the details, and make a commitment to do better. And one of the hardest ways to build trust is consistent action over time. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight. It takes time, and more importantly, consistent action. You need to prove that you're really serious about correcting the mistake and rebuilding that trust. Day by day, decision by decision, action by action, you need to start proving that you can be reliable. Be patient, because it's not going to happen overnight, but you can overcome it. This is really important though. There are some things that you should not rush when you're trying to rebuild the trust process, or it's going to completely tear everything apart. And the first mistake people make is they try to rush the process. People need time to process, and pushing too hard will backfire very soon. Make sure you're patient and rebuilding trust on their timeline, not yours. Much like reason number 2, if you continue to overpromise and underdeliver, don't make promises you can't keep. Rebuilding trust is about consistency, not the grand gestures. And lastly, do not avoid the issue. Ignoring the problem isn't going to make it go away. It's going to create resentment for the future. Face the issue head on. Open communication is the only way to rebuild trust. Why? Because the process of rebuilding trust forces clear communication, aligned expectations, setting clear boundaries, and being more intentional. By working through the challenges of broken trust, you create a deeper, more resilient connection, one that can withstand future challenges. Here's something you might not expect though. When trust is broken and then rebuilt, it can actually come back stronger than what it was before. Have you experienced broken trust? How did you handle it? Were you the one to break it? Let me know in the comments down below, and let's engage in a community that works together for success. Hey, if you found this video helpful, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, but I am going to ask you to watch another video. Scroll through our playlist, listen to our podcast, check something out that resonates with you, and share it with a friend. Thanks so much for watching.